Welcome back, athletes, to Mad Dawg TV. Welcome back to those also following along at home. We have a new 12-week cycle, and each of the 3 weeks within that 3-week cycle is we use new lifts. And one of those, we're about to get ready to start the second 3-week cycle. And the 3 lifts that we're going to work on are the front squat, push press, and deadlift. And this one, what we're going to cover is the front squat. But I bet you'll find similarities in all of these movements so that you can work on each of the same position and movement in all of these lifts. So, as you know, our motto, our tagline is position, movement, strength, and then power, and then from that you'll be prepared. So when you're learning to lift, you got to focus on position and movement. And the focus really is going to be on position with the front squat. So on the position, the first thing of the rack squat, or the most important thing on the front squat is getting your elbows and you're up and you're able to get into a good rack position. So a lot of people will come up and they'll be in this position and it really hurts their wrists. So this lift is actually one of the hardest lifts that we teach here at Mad Dawg School of Fitness. Just because people's shoulders can't move up and it just hammers their wrists. So one thing that you can do is that you can move over here and you can do with the bar. But one of the best things that you can do is get this band here like this. Take it, you can be on your knees, be tight with your hips. We're going to talk about that in a second. Just raise up your elbow and you can just stretch like that. You got to keep this tight because this is the position you're going to be in when you're lifting. And if you want, if you're like a real pipe hitter kind of guy, you can stand up and just get into that position. Again, make sure that you're not in that position, right? Because that's not how you're going to lift. You're getting all the mobility from your spine. You don't want that. You want all the mobility to come from your shoulder. Keep tight. Okay, so second thing, neutral hips. A lot of times people will come up, they're doing their squat, they'll come up, and they'll do this kind of motion, moving their hips forward, but really what you want to do is get them neutral, so you want to think elongated this way, get tall, and you'll notice just from doing that, you have tight abs. But you will see that this position right here, the ribs and the pelvis can't change this way, right, or that way, any way. It has to be same distance. Be tight. They will just naturally help you keep your hips neutral. The squat prep is the thing that we do upstairs. I can post this on the video so that you can, or post this in the explanation of the video so you can remember what that is. And then finally, movement. Some people will say that front squat bugs their knees, and that's because they're starting their squat just by bending their ankles and their knees, kind of getting forward, and then being in this position right here. The problem is that this is all locked down because you're touching the ground with your foot. This leg starts pushing this way, so there's a lot of shear force in this way. This is moving this way, this is held steady. So what we do to do that is get this hamstrings to be tight. And so we just twist our knees outwards this way, like you're riding a horse. Twist your knees outward that way, sit your hips backwards. Tension that hamstring, and you'll see with that weight on you, you can get into a good position. You got to have some tension back here, otherwise the hips are not stable. If the hips are not stable, nothing above it can be stable. All right, so let's go over here. We're going to talk about that, show the movement, talk about some of the things to work on, and with the barbell. Welcome back. We're going to start doing some squatting, see if we can put all these things together. First thing that we talked about is rack position. You're going to get underneath here, get your elbows up nice and high. Notice that my feet are matched rather than in this position. We're really in a mini squat. Practice that good tight position from the very beginning. Once, as Kelly Starrett says, once you get into the tunnel, there's no getting out. Start good and you'll end good. Take your feet, twist your knees out, get that good open hip position, and then squat from there. Second thing, take a deep breath again, twist your knees out. See if you can push your hips backwards and downwards at the same time. And that's it. Match your feet, back down. That's it. Thank you, Mad Dawg athletes, and those following along at home. Hope to see you in a few minutes here for the push press and then the deadlift.